thing is your empathy, right? You are aware of the pain. You are aware of the human suffering. You're aware of those things. And you're also aware that, there may be someone in your immediate circle feeling like that, and you don't want them to feel that way. Or you might be the type of person who goes through a lot of pain and a lot of hardship despite being kind, and you feel that so deeply. You're very empathetic. You feel those emotions, and you've been at rock bottom, or perhaps you're at rock bottom right now watching this video. So just like, if this has happened to you, or you're just going through this and you clicked on this video to try to get some sort of relief from the pain that you're feeling, I want you to know, just take this time as reflection, introspection, and a lesson. Reflection, introspection, and a lesson. Because now, even if you make the same mistake again, don't beat yourself up over it. It's a lesson. You're going to learn from this. You are going to extract the wisdom that you need from this betrayal and hurt. We can hang out, we can be friends, but there's not going to be an instant depth at all. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the superficiality that comes with a new connection, because that's healthy. If you reveal too much about yourself, the wrong people might see that as a weakness. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alyssa, and if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on new posts that I upload every single week, or more often. It just depends on the ebb and the flow of my creativity. How's everyone doing? Let's get into today's topic. Why the more that you give, the more they take. More often than not, you give in confidence. You give because you think that it will be reciprocated or returned, but you're only found to be disappointed when that does not come to fruition. It's not returned. You're like duped. And if you feel like this and you are that type of person, you're probably very generous, and you probably grew up with a lot of love, a lot of TLC. And so as a result, naturally, you're kind of the type of person to do that as well for people. And, it's fine when you're a kid, because when you're a kid, you don't necessarily notice those things, or even really care that if you give someone your nacho Lunchable, that they don't ever return the favor, they never talk to you again. Like, you're not thinking about that. It doesn't really matter much to you. Why is it then that when we become an adult, that, like, in a way, disrespect, it's disrespect, is more prominent, or just at the forefront of our minds when we are giving, and people take more as a result? It's an interesting concept that I wanted to discuss in today's video. So if you're still with me, I'm just going to kind of give my thoughts and why that might be the case. And this isn't to attack. This isn't meant to shame or guilt anyone into being a kind, generous person in the slightest. I completely understand if you just have a generous, kind heart and you don't necessarily know how to turn it off in a way. But I think that's really important to know when to turn on and off that heart when you need to, because the more you give, the more they take. So let's get into it. I remember as a kid, I was always the nice kid. I never wanted anyone to feel left out. I never wanted people to feel ostracized. So if you were a friend with me, you definitely felt welcome. You felt seen, you felt heard. That's something that I always thought about, even as a kid, when you don't really kind of consider those things to be the case for anyone, because your emotional intelligence is not as developed at a younger age and stage in life. But that was always me for the longest time. Just thought that was the way to be. If you're nice, you get nice things, or nice people, nice gestures back, whatever. But that was never my intention as a child to get anything back in returns. Literally furthest thing from my mind. So fast forward to when I got older, I'd say probably teenage years. That was just where I started to realize that niceness or overexertion of kindness was just detrimental to my peace of mind. I realized that in the collective, if you're too nice, it's seen as a weakness, right? That's kind of where I started to have an epiphany. And it's not to say that I like went dark and stopped being kind to people, but I just was a little more conservative with the kindness that I gave away. And if you are at this point in the video, I want you to consider, in what ways do you extend your energy to others, which may be so that you can please them, right? Let me ask you this. Does pleasing others or making others happy make you feel good? There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to be of service to others. The problem lies in being of service to people who definitely did not deserve that, to people who see that and in their predatory nature will hurt you and take advantage of you, because that's like free food, free candy, you know. It's like a kid in a candy store. You're so nice, and people who, you know, aren't that way will go as far as to pretend that they are, so that they can keep benefiting from, you know, whatever the benefits are that come with being associated with you, whether that's attention, whether that's your energy, whether that is like monetary. So if you're like very fortunate and you have, you know, an abundance of financial stability, they may have a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, that they so conveniently relay to you as they become friends or become in your inner circle. And then you feel obligated to help because of this nature of people pleasing and the nature of just wanting to be a good person, you know. Because the thing about people that give a lot and end up getting taken from a lot is because it's that they are aware of, the thing is your empathy, right? You are aware of the pain, you are aware of the human suffering, you're aware of those things. And you're also aware that, you know, there may be someone in your immediate circle feeling like that, and you don't want them to feel that way. Or you might be the type of person who goes through a lot of pain and a lot of hardship despite being kind, and you feel that so deeply. You're very empathetic, you feel those emotions, and you've been at rock bottom, or perhaps you're at rock bottom right now watching this video, yet you still extend yourself and still feel the need to, you know, go over the top to ensure that others don't feel as bad as you do. You don't want anyone to feel hopeless like you do. And like I said, that's not, to me, that's not a bad thing. The bad thing comes in giving the bad people those chances, or giving the bad people that grace, because they love it. Of course, they're going to eat it up. They're happy for you. They're glad that you're around. They feel like they hit the jackpot. But for you, it's just, especially if you're already going through something, right? It kind of feels like a knife in the back. It kind of feels like betrayal, because it is. You trusted the wrong person, you trusted the wrong group of people, you trusted the wrong organization with your energy, with your kindness, with your generosity, and they took advantage of you. Now, I think the most important takeaway from, you know, being the person that the more you give, the more people take from you, is to just really start to become selfish with your time, with your goals, with your interest, with your time, with the things that you were so easily giving away, making those things your priority. And for anyone that is not experiencing betrayal or loss from being too kind, you might hear that advice and think, wow, that's really cruel. That's, you know, cold-hearted. You're trying to fight a fire with another fire, like, so to speak. You're trying to beat these evil people by joining them, by becoming selfish like them, by becoming like the world. Well, it's nuanced. That's not necessarily the case in this context, right? Because we are seeing people like myself, kindness being used against us, not by everyone, but by people that we trusted in confidence, by organizations that we trusted in confidence, who took advantage, who used, who, tried to derail that niceness by being evil. And whether you consciously realize this or not, that has really lasting effects. And it does cause some people to kind of black out and just turn into one of them, become like the world. For me, it's kind of like a moment of introspection where I can just think about, what can I do? It's not like what happened to you. It's, what do you do in response to that? Are you going to instead become a little more selfish with your time and discerning with your energy, protecting your gifts from people that don't deserve it, vetting people so that they can't just come in your life and utilize your gifts so that they can use them for themselves? Or you could also, with what has happened to you, take from other people, seek other people that are nice and take from them. Now that's probably the more degenerative way to go, if you ask me. But who am I to tell you what to do? You're hurting right now. You're hurting, you're in pain, and you just kind of feel a bit of revenge. You feel like you want to seek revenge. To me, I think that's quite humanly and normal to feel like, hey, I want to make people hurt like they make me hurt. But it's like, it's really not gonna make you feel better once you do it. Take it from me, as someone who, I'm a Scorpio. People like to say that we're vengeful. I wouldn't necessarily agree, but I would say, like, if you are hurting, or the opportunity presents itself and you're already in a weakened state of mind, some people will take the opportunity, and you think that it's going to help you by hurting this group of people or hurting this person in return. What are you going to get out of it? Watching their demise? Like, the joy that they already got out of taking from you, or that they thought they got, because we all know that karma is so real, right? You give what you get. And if you're taking from people more than you're giving, well, you have your answer. So yeah, like, being discerning with your time and realizing, if you're in like a group, a party, organization, church, whatever, if you meet people, don't let them into your circle quick. Don't be so quick to make everyone a friend, right? And if you do, where I am in my life is like, we can hang out, we can be friends, but there's not gonna be an instant depth at all, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the superficiality that comes with a new connection, because that's healthy. Because if you reveal too much about yourself, the wrong people might see that as a weakness and then use it against you, right? So just like, if this has happened to you, or you're just going through this and you clicked on this video to try to get some sort of relief from the pain that you're feeling, I want you to know, just take this time as reflection, introspection, and a lesson. Reflection, introspection, and a lesson. Because now, even if you make the same mistake again, don't beat yourself up over it. It's a lesson. You're going to learn from this. You are going to extract the wisdom that you need from this betrayal and hurt. And like, just realize, it's not always the case that if you give your time, energy, money, monetary gain, whatever, away, that it will just be taken. That is with the wrong entity, the wrong spirit, the wrong person. Okay, I said entity and spirit because a lot of times people are operating under a spirit of taking, of stealing, because they themselves have something they haven't dealt with. And so that is why they seek to hurt, steal, destroy other people's happiness and peace within. So they see that you're giving your kindness, and they don't have that. They don't feel that inside. So they naturally use your energy like a vampire and suck it out of you. And I don't want you to watch this and think that it's irreparable. I don't feel that way. At the time of the recording of this video, I know that there's always hope past the anguish, because I've had dark seasons in my life where I definitely did not think it could get worse than that. It got better after. You hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up, right? So yeah. And that is my take on why the more you give, the more they take. If you have anything else to add or any other tips that you feel like would help someone like going through this difficult time in their lives where they're realizing that the way that they are invites, you know, energetic vampires into their lives to steal, leave those suggestions below. Help someone else out today, and also take care of yourself as well. Help someone else out, but don't forget to fill up your own cup. All right? That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, you don't even know how much that really means to me, and I'm just so grateful for you. I need to charge this microphone, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.